Welcome back everybody, I'm Harry Constantinescu and today we have a very exciting episode. We're going to try to make the difference, to see if there's a difference between the Syrah and Shiraz. A lot of people make a confusion and they don't know what to think, so we're going to clarify that right now. We're going to taste, we have a Torbreck, a lot of people recognize the label, one of the most famous Shiraz from Barossa Valley, Australia. This comes from the South Australia. Matter of fact, I have a little map right here. This is a map of Australia, and the dark part of the map, it's Southern Australia. Matter of fact, around here is the Barossa Valley, where this wine comes from. The second wine, it's a Delas Syrah 2004. It is, yes, it's a 2004. It is very hard to find in France 100% varietal Syrah, because it's a grape that it's used to be blended. His blending partner, it's usually Grenache. Now, this is a map of France, and that particular wine comes from the Rhone Valley, which again, it's the dark area right here. All this is France, and specifically from the northern Rhone Valley, from the Hermitage region. Oh, there we go. That's the Rhone Valley. And the Hermitage, it's right here, the green little area. They use 100% Syrah in that part of the work. Now, Syrah is a grape, or Shiraz, how you like it to call. The story says that it originated somewhere in a city called Shiraz in Iran, and it was brought to France by a crusader, returning home crusader, that he planted on his domains up in Côte-Rôtie, Hermitage, all that area in northern Rhone that we just saw. Well, let's see. According to the DNA test performed recently at UC Davis, California, they decided actually Syrah, it is indigenous to France. The French people, they were never happy to know that the grape comes from Iran. So it was proved that it's an offspring of two little known varieties in France called, Tourette and Mondeuse Blanche. Let's go ahead and taste the Torbreck first, the Australian wine. We're gonna see, so at the DNA level, those two grapes, it's one of the same grape. Those two wines are made up one of the same grape, but the differences in terroir probably and climate will make a little difference. The grape was brought, the Shiraz was brought in Australia. How did it end up there all the way from France? There was an immigrant born in Scotland that basically brought it back in 1832. His name was James Busby. He studied enology in France and in Spain, and he brought some cuttings of the Syrah with him, and he named it Shiraz at the time in Australia, you know, just because the story at the time widely accepted, it was that Shiraz comes from the city of Shiraz in Iran. By the way, there's where we discovered the oldest proofs that the wine was made 7,000 years ago, right outside the city of Shiraz in Iran. Let's see what this wine has to offer for us. Very, very complex nose. Matter of fact, let me tell you, the color, as I can see it over the white paper right here, it's heavily pigmented, this wine. It didn't start to develop the orange rim yet, and let me tell you, the legs are slow to fall, which is an indication of high alcohol, and they are a little colored, which also tells us, this is a little trick in a blind tasting, that the wine comes from a hot growing region to extract it a little more color from the skin. The nose up front, I'm telling you, I can feel the spices right away. The black pepper, it's in there. A little anise, it's in there. And believe it or not, some baked earth I feel in there. Let's see how it tastes. Very smooth. very smooth velvety tannins, but also they grab your gums, so big tannins. Matter of fact, it's one of the 4 most tannic grapes in commercial successfully production today. Shiraz, a lot of spices, and it comes back, it burns my palate, comes back with a very high alcohol content. Matter of fact, let's see the alcohol content on this. It should be mentioned 14.5%. There we go. This is pretty high for a Shiraz. It triggers a little bit the saliva, indicating the acidity, of course. And curiously, some of the I know that there is not such a wine as a salty wine. You know, it's not a characteristic of the wine, but it triggers the same taste buds. So seems a little salty. Let's go to the next one, Hermitage, Delas. Matter of fact, we have it's Marquise de la Tourette, Delas, Hermitage Rouge, 2004. That's the top of the case. I took the bottle out of. All right. Oh, nice color in this one, I'm telling you. Little less pigmented. I'm gonna take a closer look in a second. Let's see. I keep changing hands because I'm left-handed, as you can see. Alright, here we go, here we go. Very hard to find in France 100% varietal, as I said. The Syrah. Very clean wine. It can be aged for decades, this wine, I can tell you that. Little less pigment than the Australian one. So that's first difference to keep in mind. We have the legs are also slow to fall, but not as slow as the Torbreck right there. Let's see the nose. Some spice, a little rustic edge into it. A little more subtle, or a little more subtlety in this one. Let's see the taste. Wow, there's a lot going on in there. There's a lot going on. I'm telling you, that's the reason a lot of people turn into wine after they taste Châteauneuf-du-Pape. It's one of the grapes used in the blend of Châteauneuf-du-Pape or Norton Rhone. Much bigger tannins, much higher acidity, rustic edge, as I said. Perfect wine for the red meats. Definitely, this wine, it's a noble. It's a count, a noble, like a prince, some sort of thing. You know, riding his horse into after a rain, and it's that smell in a forest, that earthiness, that forest floor comes out of it. A little leather also as a side, in a back, probably on a back palate, a little leather, and it comes back on the retronasal passage, what we call. Also with very high alcohol. Very impressed with this wine. I would give it probably an easy 92, 93 points in my opinion. Beautiful wine. Please leave your comments and let me know what do you think about the differences in between those two wines. If I was to personify the first one, just an image popped into my head right now. This is when you go in a forest, when you go hiking and you make a fire. You know, it was raining and then you start making a fire and it's a little wet, the wood. You hunted something and you want to prepare it on a fire, let's say a venison. This wine, a little sweat because it's hot outside. This wine, exactly, this is what it is. A hiker in a forest, that baked earth that comes from the burning wood. Perfect personification. Thank you very much again for watching me, and please leave your comments and let me know what you want to taste next time. Thank you.